Hello YouTube, hello Facebook, hello the world overall. My name is Gavin and welcome back to What's News Today for Thursday, June 30th, 2016. All headlines are taken from the Wall Street Journal, so you should really check out the Wall Street Journal itself to get the whole entire thing and all the details. That being said, let's get into it. Stocks have rebounded rapidly after the Brexit panic, but demand for government bonds and other haven assets points to lingering jitters. The Dow rose 284.96 points to an astounding 17,694.68 points. Total. You can find those the details about that on pages A1 and C1. What this usually means is that the market is actually normalizing. So, buying stocks and all that will be actually beneficial. And, there's still a bit of doubt about the whole entire Brexit thing. But, like every Adam Sandler movie that comes out, there's initial panic, then a reaction, and then things slowly get back to normal, and no one fucking cares about Adam Sandler. Although the Brexit can't be compared to Adam Sandler. Or the other way around. I don't know, it's confusing for me. I don't really pay much attention to it. Most big U.S. banks passed the Fed's annual stress test by winning permission to boost dividends and buybacks. You can find that article on page A1. So what that actually means is that they can pay out bigger dividends towards, whenever they hand out those weird little checks that tells you how much your stocks are worth at the moment and everything else. So if you choose to sell them, you can actually sell them, either that or cash the dividend check, because interest, royalties, and jelly sandwiches. Moving on. GE Capital was freed from its designation as a systematically important financial institution after dramatically shrinking its business. So what that means is systematically important, which is it's important to the overall system, which means it has less of an impact on everyday finances than, is normally allowed. That's my interpretation of it. If it's not what you yourself would consider, then hey, cool, you are more smart than me because I am here in this area. Moving on. Credit Suisse, Credit Suisse, because is being probed over its role in financing sales of military ships to Mozambique that ballooned the nation's debt. That's actually kind of bad, because ballooning a nation's debt means that it's going to take longer, and we seem to be in this weird spiral of ever-increasing problems. So the fact that Credit Suisse is, it's getting poked full of holes because, debt is never a good thing, and we're still trying to work our way out of our couple of $1 trillion debts. So you can find that article on page C1. Moving on. GM is losing U.S. market share to Ford and Fiat Chrysler as automakers struggles to meet demand for trucks and SUVs that don't accidentally backfire, roll into people, kill people, overinflate their airbags, cause whiplash, don't have any rollover problems, a whole host of problems, and most importantly, don't explode like a fucking Pinto when someone decides to rear end it. That's important. So good luck, GM bastards. Airbnb you can also find that article on page B1. Airbnb plans a funding round and employee stock sale that will value the firm at up to $30 billion and help defer an IPO. And that's a lot of money, and it's only one letter away from being IPA, which means a really big fucking beer. You can find that story on page B1. The UK may not be able to use its tax code to lure companies after its EU exit frees it from the bloc's rules, which that's kind of bad because new companies in England means more business, more jobs, and everything else. So the faster they're able to negotiate new trades with lots of other countries, the better it is overall. Yeah, totally. Facebook said, oh yay, Facebook news. Facebook said it would prioritize posts from friends and family in users' news feed over publishers' content. That's great.
Back on.
Yay! Doing a video. Not stopping it. I don't know why this made the Wall Street Journal's What's News Today. In all honesty, it's useless information. I have no idea why it would be like, hey, blah, 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 in important news, because that's not news. That's just stupid stuff that Facebook could easily have put out. But apparently whoever wrote this column decided it was important enough so that way they could, you know, ogle at someone's dinner or type angry comments about someone's political sarcastic e-card or do a number of other things that aren't really important to the Wall Street Journal. Way to go, people. You can find that story, if you actually think it's important, on page B4. Personal spending. Personal spending rose 0.4% in May from April, continuing a resurgence that is giving the economy a lift. Is it giving it a facelift, a butt lift, a thigh lift, a cheek lift, a nose lift, a chin lift, an eyebrow lift, thumb lift? There's a whole bunch of lifts that the economy is going through. It's like, it's as if all of Joan Rivers' skin when she was alive was like sagging all over the place, making it seem like she was a big old deflated air balloon. And the economy's like, here, let me lift you up. But it also means that the economy is slowly but surely getting better. Still not stopping the video. And you can find that story on page A2. And now we go over to worldwide, because this is now 7 minutes and 50 seconds. In more serious news, the death toll from the Istanbul airport bombing rose to 42 as Turkey grappled with what its leaders called the suspected Islamic State offensive. So, yesterday I said that I read that the Islamic State, which is kind of a terrorist cell, I guess, is slowly but surely losing power, and so the level of extremes they're going through to cause terror is rapidly increasing. So it's kind of one of those the smaller it is, the more powerful it becomes kind of deals, to the point where if they get their hands on nuclear weapons or like more bombs than any military should have right to have, it's going to cause some major havoc. So the faster that the Islamic State gets dealt with, or the individual cells of the Islamic State gets dealt with, the better off that will be in the future. So, I didn't mention this before, but to the families and loved ones and friends and co-workers and bosses of those that were lost in the airport bombings, you have my deepest condolences. Alright, you can find that story on page A12. EU leaders agreed that the UK couldn't cap migration and expect unrestricted free access to the bloc's single market. So, the single market is where before the Brexit, before the Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt of world politics happened, it had access to multiple markets, multiple sources of income. Now that Brad Pitt is with Angelina Jolie, it only has one source of income from trade and whatnot. So what's going to happen now, like I said previously, is Brad Pitt is going to try its damnedest to get adopt as many children as possible, so that way, I guess they can help more people out, or they can help themselves out. That's what I'm equating it to. And Brad Pitt is England, and Angelina Jolie in this case is money. Who the fuck knows with that thing? You can find that page on A6. Alright, Scotland's leader met with EU officials for talks about protecting her country's interest in the bloc. Previously, I said that Scotland and Ireland were having talks about rejoining the EU and breaking away from England and the UK in general. So, for those of you who don't know, Ireland and Scotland have been kind of shackled to England for the longest time due to England kind of taking over them and pissing everyone off, resulting in multiple Mel Gibson movies about angry painted faces and face smashing via horseback. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. Check it out. You can find that story on page A6 as well. Alright. Congress cleared and sent to Obama a bipartisan compromise for overseeing of Puerto Rico rescue plans. So apparently there's some sort of situation where, holy shit, exodus worsens Puerto Rico's crisis. Goddamn. Population decline rivals Dust Bowl era. Hospitals feel the pinch. Oh shit, so there's actually a population decline in Puerto Rico. And a while back I posted a video that asked U.S. congressmen to help out its little brother, its little sister, its younger sibling, because Puerto Rico is a part of the United States of America, although its representation within a Congress and the House of Representatives and all of that, as well as the ability to vote, is kind of compromised in a lot of different ways. The star of the musical, the widely popular musical Hamilton, has, gone on the Colbert, the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, to kind of plead with congressmen via awesome rap and everything else. So you can find that story on page A1. And on a side note, Puerto Rico's situation is very, very important. Okay, moving on, because I gotta get through this. The leaders of Canada, the US, and Mexico emphasize a commitment to integrated markets. So, Canada, the US, and Mexico, because, positions on the globe and physical location, not because list-wise, they're kind of forming a Voltron, if you will, a Voltron of integrated markets. So think of them like the pilots of big, giant robot cats. To reference Deadpool here. Think of them like 3 robot cats forming to make one giant robot cat. See what I did? I put my hand closer to the camera. So 3 into 1. Also, because, hold on. I'm not sure how. I'm trying to do the face sign, but I can't. Fuck it. So that's going to be good overall, because then those 3 will do like integrated trading, and it's going to have a bunch of beneficial effects that financial experts can talk about more. In internet an internet regulator who helped China's Xi tighten controls online is stepping aside for a rising political star believed to be just as strict. Oh, China. Really? Why? Come on. Relax the internet. The Chinese people deserve to view... Sorry, the people of China, not Chinese people. The people of China deserve to watch cat videos with swearing and laser beams and explosions in the background and hamburgers falling from the sky because... Why? And they need to be able to complain about Francine's cat pictures. Come on. Come on, China. I'm begging you. You can find that page on page A5. And the previous one on page A7. Because I fucked up. Alright. A Muslim... Oh, shit. A Muslim recruit's death at boot camp has sparked a probe of practice at the Marines' Paris Island facility on A3. It's a very serious situation whenever someone in our military kind of loses their life at boot camp, and it's even more so when, you know, the religion of said person, even though it shouldn't be included, is included in the report, because that means that it might be considered a hate crime or prejudice, but until the probe reveals otherwise, to the friends and family of the recruit that passed away or was killed, you have my deepest sympathies. I'm sorry. The drop in U.S. deaths from heart disease appears to have hit a wall after decades of dramatic progress. So, people are still dying from heart disease, but it's not at the number that it was. Thank you, Cheerios. Oh, Cheerios. You can find that story on page A3. Biden announced partnerships aimed at aiding a proposed cancer initiative, which is vitally important for cancer research and finding a cure for cancer. And as we've found cures for multiple different types of cancer, all stemming from the weirdest freaking places, from tree roots to Shijandra to a bunch of other things. Not stopping the video, 17 minutes into it. So that's actually a pretty good idea. For more information, you can go to the American Cancer Society's website, as well as, you know, whitehouse.com.gov or .gov or something or other to get more news on that. But in the meantime, you can find that story on page A3. And finally, the FDA proposed that hand sanitizer may be... Damn it. The FDA proposed that hand sanitizer makers be required to submit data on the safety and effectiveness. As you know, hand sanitizer has been proposed to...
You know what time it is, Morgan?
I do. I'm almost done with the video. I'm not stopping recording because you decided to pop into it. It's important because hand sanitizers are proposed to wipe out 99.9% of all infectious bacteria and germs that it comes in contact with. So the fact that the FDA is actually concerned about this is kind of important. I need to find a happy note to end this on because there were a couple of serious articles here. So let's go with It's Still Available. Rockstar, the second largest diamond ever mined, failed to sell at auction on Wednesday. Which means there's a giant fucking diamond available for someone extremely rich who wants to make the most awesome engagement ring ever. So, for those of you planning a giant wedding and have more money than frickin' Tony Stark has available at his fingertips, or Bruce Wayne, or I don't know, Superman. Superman's got his goddamn Fortress of Solitude out there. And he's allergic to horses. Jokes! Rest in peace, Christopher Reeve. Go for it. For the love of God, buy that son of a bitch. And do whatever the hell you want with it. Throw it out butler, you know, dress it up in a little dress. Make it your Yoda. Make it the Yoda to your Luke and jump through force with it, like strapped around your neck, and have like a little audio player, you know, whispering things of knowledge to you, like, must not eat waffle at house of pancakes. Cannot buy stock if money is not there. Joe Biden might be confusing, but never mind about that. That kind of thing. Anyways, my name is Gavin. Thank you so much for watching this, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, as I'm always uploading new content for you to enjoy, although albeit at a much smaller pace. It's been a weird week for me. I do Let's Plays, I do blogs, I do news articles, and I'm going to continue with What's News Today, because the Wall Street Journal is absolutely awesome at everything it does. And I'm gonna keep doing this for as long as I can, or as long as I remember. So again, thank you so much. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the section below. And as always, boom! I'll see you like a beast in the next video. Peace! Boop-a-doop-a-doop-boop.